This video attempts to show what you can do with the image effects controls in the Canon camcorders. That's nothing to do with cinema mode. This is the image effects which are found in the menu. As you can see, starting here with the color depths of 0 and the others at -2, those just happen to be my preferred settings. But notice when you take the color depth from 0 up to +2, everything becomes that much more saturated. It's particularly noticeable. I'll drop it down here to -2 and suddenly the image looks certainly very desaturated. I think the color depth is the effect you notice most when you play around with it. Let's put the color depth back to 0 and we're back at my preferred settings, but then we'll start playing around in a moment with the sharpness, brightness and contrast, and hopefully the effect will be visible despite the compression. So this is sharpness gone back up to 0, the image a little bit crisper, and then when we take it up to its +2 setting, now I'm not a fan of this because on the big screen it looks, well, too crisp, a bit too digital. That's why I like to turn it down. So let's put it back down to the way it was, and hopefully you can see the difference there in the image. Now let's reset that and turn our attention to brightness and contrast. Turning the contrast up from -2 to 0, the image changes just that little bit, and when you put it up again from 0 to +2, the darks get darker and the brights get brighter. It certainly does have an impact, that one. There you go for contrast. Pardon the pun, back down to -2. Pop that to 0 and let's experiment with the brightness control. At -2 at the moment, and this is quite a noticeable effect when you start dialing it up. Go up to 0, suddenly the highlights a little bit brighter, and certainly when you take it up to its fullest setting, the image is noticeably brighter. And yes, the sun did go in and come out a bit as I was filming, but nonetheless the effect should hopefully be apparent to you. That's everything at 0, which is the default setting for when the camcorder is shipped to you. And then just quickly running through the settings down to -2 on the contrast, brightness and the sharpness. Distinct difference in the image. Whack them all the other way, +2, +2 and +2, and the image obviously reverses, very bright, very sharp, very contrasty. So let's end up by popping them back to the factory default settings, and this is how the camera is when you get it out of the box. If that was useful to you, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks very much.